Divergence of a vector. If fxyz is a differentiable vector point function, defined at each point xyz in some region of space, then the divergence of f, denoted by div f, and is defined by div f equal to del dot f, that is I del x plus j del y plus k del z dot f. So I dot del f del x plus j dot del f del y plus k dot del f del z. If in particular f equal to the vector f equal to f1i plus f2j plus f3k, then divergence of f can be obtained by putting this expression of f here. We will get divergence of f as del f1 del x plus del f2 del y plus del f3 del z. So here we see f is a vector point function. F is a vector point function. And f1, f2, f3 components of f are all scalar point functions. Hence, divergence of f, that is del dot f, is a scalar point function. This is absolutely scalar. Significance of del dot f, that is divergence of f. In general, if f represents any physical quantity, then del dot f gives at each point the rate per unit volume at which the physical quantity is issuing from that point. Or in particular, if v equal to v1i plus v2j plus v3k is a vector point function representing the instantaneous velocity of a moving fluid particle at xyz, then del dot v, divergence of v, represents the rate of loss of fluid per unit volume at that point. So divergence of v, del dot v, represents the rate of loss of the fluid per unit volume at that point. Next, solenoidal vector. If f is a vector point function such that del dot f equal to 0 at all points in a given region, then it is said to be a solenoidal vector in that region. Curl of a vector. If fxyz be a differentiable vector point function defined at each point xyz in some region of space, then the curl of f or the rotation of f is denoted by curl f or rot f and is defined by curl f equal to del cross f. So this is del cross f. So we are getting I cross del f del x plus j cross del f del y plus k cross del f del z. Unlike divergence of f, curl f is a vector point function. A formula for del cross f may be obtained as follows. Del cross f equal to, we are putting summation sign, so we are taking only first term from this, I cross del f del x, putting f as f1i plus f2j plus f3k. So as I cross I is equal to 0, I cross j is equal to k and I cross k equal to minus j, so we are getting summation del f2 del x k minus del f3 del x j. So if we do not use the summation sign at the beginning, we will have similar two terms. So in general we will get three brackets like this: del f3 del y minus del f2 del z I cap plus del f1 del z minus del f3 del x j cap plus del f2 del x minus del f1 del y k cap, which can be written in brief in terms of a determinant. It is not actually a determinant, but it looks like a determinant. Operations will be like determinant. The first row is I, j, k, three vectors. Second row del del x, del del y, del del z, and third row the components of f, which is f1, f2, f3. So del cross f can be expressed in this determinant form. I, j, k, del del x, del y, del del z, f1, f2, f3. Physical significance of curl of a vector f, del cross f. The curl of a vector point function f is another vector point function which is normal to the direction of the greatest spin, and the magnitude of the curl signifies the strength of that rotation. Basically, curl f measures the tendency for f to swirl around. Irrotational vector. If f is a vector point function such that del cross f equal to 0 at all points in a given region, then f is said to be an irrotational vector in that region. So if del cross f is equal to 0 for some f, we say f is an irrotational vector. Scalar potential of an irrotational vector f. If f is an irrotational vector, then it can be expressed as the gradient of a scalar point function phi, that is f equal to grad phi. So we are required to prove if f is irrotational, then f can be expressed as f is equal to grad phi, where phi is some scalar point function. So we first, as f is irrotational, curl f equal to 0, we have already defined the expression of curl f, that will be equal to 0. So if this is 0, all the brackets will be 0. So we are getting these three relations. Now these three relations will be satisfied if f1 equal to del phi del x, f2 is equal to del phi del y, and f3 is equal to del phi del z. As if we put f3 and f2 here, we will get same thing. From the first term, we will get del 2 phi del z del y, and from the second term, we will get del 2 phi del y del z. Similarly, here also we will get same thing. So if f1 is equal to del phi del x, f2 is equal to del phi del y, and f3 is equal to del phi del z, then all these three relations will be satisfied. So f now becomes f1i plus f2j plus f3k, which will now be summation I del phi del x plus j del phi del y plus k del phi del z, which is equal to grad phi. So if f is an irrotational vector and f is equal to grad phi, then we say phi is a scalar potential of f. F is irrotational and f is equal to grad phi. We will term phi as the scalar potential of F. Some expansion formulae involving the sign del. Number 1, del dot u plus minus v equal to del dot u plus minus del dot v. And secondly, del cross u plus minus v equal to del cross u plus minus del cross v. Number 3, del dot phi f, where phi is a scalar point function and f is a vector point function. It can be proved that it will be equal to phi del dot f plus del phi dot f. It can be proved this relation here. Summation I dot del x phi f, del dot phi f equal to this. We are writing in terms of summation. Differentiating partially with respect to x, we are getting two terms. Then write these terms in two different summation symbol, like phi summation I dot del f del x plus summation I del phi del x dot f. The first term becomes phi del dot f and second term becomes del phi dot f. So we have proved del dot phi f equal to phi del dot f plus del phi dot f. Number 4, we are required to prove del dot u cross v equal to v dot curl u minus u dot curl v. From left hand side, del dot u cross v, we are retaining only one term and putting a summation sign at the beginning. I dot del x of u cross v. Differentiating partially of cross product, we get I dot something which is equal to del u del x cross v plus u cross del v del x. And expanding this into two different terms, summation I dot del u del x cross v minus I dot del v del x cross u. We have interchanged these two, that is why minus sign arises. Next, this is a scalar triple product, this is also scalar triple product. For our sake of convenience, we have interchanged the dot product and cross product, which is possible in a scalar triple product. So we have put first cross sign, then dot sign here. Here also first cross sign, then dot sign. So we have interchanged cross sign and dot sign from last term to current term. So we obtained this is v dot curl u, dot product can be interchanged, minus u dot curl v. Therefore, del dot u cross v equal to v dot curl u minus u dot curl v. These are the problems 5 and 6 which you have to do yourself. This is 5, this is 6. 5 is del cross phi f equal to phi del cross f plus del phi cross f, and 6 del cross u cross v equal to del dot vu plus v dot del u minus del dot uv minus u dot del v. So these two things you have to do yourself. Now two things to be noted here. In the right hand side of 6, two things, it is clearly seen that del dot v and here v dot del. These two things are completely different. As you know, del dot v, it denotes divergence of v, and v dot del, this is nothing but v1 del del x plus v2 del del y plus v3 del del z, where v is v1i plus v2j plus v3k. So what is v dot del u, v dot del u, this is the complete term. So we have to put one u at the end. It will give v1 del u del x plus v2 del u del y plus v3 del u del z. So del dot v and v dot del are completely different. Number 2, del dot del phi we denote as del square phi, where del square is a new operator which is del 2 del x2 plus del 2 del y2 plus del 2 del z2 called Laplacian operator, and del square phi equal to 0. This is we call Laplace's equation. Prove that curl of grad phi equal to 0, that is del cross del phi equal to 0. We are required to prove del cross del phi equal to 0. We know del phi equal to del phi del x I cap plus del phi del y j cap plus del phi del z k cap. And we know del cross f or curl f can be expressed as a determinant I j k del x del y del del z first two rows, and in place of f1 f2 f3 we have to put del phi del x, del phi del y and del phi del z. So del cross del phi can be simplified from this determinant. After simplifying, we will get curl grad phi equal to 0. So our conclusion in this problem is that it means that grad phi is always an irrotational vector, as curl of grad phi equal to 0. So we can conclude grad phi is always an irrotational vector. Problem 2. Divergence of curl f, that is del dot del cross f equal to 0. We know curl f, we have already derived curl f is equal to this, where f is equal to f1i plus f2j plus f3k. Therefore, divergence of curl f equal to del x of first term plus del y of second term plus del z of third term, which gives 0 after simplification. So divergence of curl f equal to 0. In this result, we can conclude this result means that curl f is always a solenoidal vector, as divergence of curl f equal to 0. So curl f is always a solenoidal vector. Problem 3. Curl of curl f equal to del cross f, which you have to show it, you have to do it yourself. Its value is del of del dot f minus del square f. So curl of curl f equal to del cross f, which is equal to del dot f minus del square f.